Okay, about Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac, the guy who joined the Children of God religious cult. And yes, it's the same cult that Joaquin River Phoenix and Rose McGowan were from. I'm Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. And I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in the Children of God and then going into the U.S. Army. And I very, very unfortunately lived with Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac for 6 years. And if you've read my book, he is the Uncle Jerry of chapter 5. Here's how I explain who he is in the cult. In a society that had no rank, no class, and no money, Uncle Jerry wielded the power of a general, a duke, and a billionaire. Before he found Jesus and joined the Children of God, he'd been one of the founding members of an evil rock band, which made him very famous, very rich, made him a very famous and very rich systemite. That's all of you guys on the outside. He was one of the few people in our world who still had regular income from the outside because he received royalty checks. He gave all his money to the family, the Children of God, and the money bought him security and impunity. We all knew the leaders would never side against Uncle Jerry. Okay, so Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac joins in, I believe, 71 or 72, right around the time that my grandfather was joining, tons of recruiting. So basically, they were on tour, and shortly before a show that night, Jeremy Spencer goes out to get a magazine and just never returns. And he's gone off with the Children of God. By the way, before he goes, he's already married to a girl he married when she was 14, right? And the band members don't have a problem with this. The band members actually go to a Children of God commune to see what has gone on and try to get him back. And he's like, nope, I'm not coming back. Okay. Every time I talk about this, people are like, well, he left so early. It was before the band got famous. Because I say, Fleetwood Mac royalties have funded the PEDO cult. That is what happened. And people get really upset by that because, of course, they don't want their Fleetwood Mac music to be ruined. However, I will tell you that one, he received millions and millions in royalties. And if we don't understand that current popularity can make your back catalog successful, then I don't know what on Dr. Taylor Allison Swift's Green Earth you've been doing. But clearly, he made a lot of money. But also, he was always involved in the leadership of the Children of God and in the production of what we turned into, which was a music, video, childhood entertainment organization, illegal organization. Most cults are usually some kind of organized crime. Of course, we did not know this when we were pounding the streets all over the world, selling these things, or when I was acting in these things. Okay, so fast forward to, I'm going to write this book, and I'm going to write about Uncle Jerry. And so when you write a book, you have a legal read. And I was with Macmillan, which is one of the big publishers, so it's a big deal. My book also had to be reviewed by the Pentagon, which is another fun story. But they were concerned, right? Because they were concerned that that paragraph that I wrote about him, it's pretty easy. If you were to Google what celebrities joined the Children of God cult, you're going to come up with his name pretty easily. And so they were worried that Uncle Jerry was too connected. So I sent the lawyer a link that apparently led him to 400 pages of accusations of pedo stuff. And his own daughter has testified that he was doing stuff to her. Definitely was one of my major abusers from the ages of not even 5 till the age of 10, when I was very, very happy to move away. However, he's not convicted, and people always ask why, and it's because cults are really good at organized crime. So he lives in hiding and always has done in the secret hubs of the Children of God. He stays outside of the US and the UK for the most part. He was planning a tour. And there's not an outstanding warrant for his arrest, right? You have to have someone going against you. So yeah. But also, in 2016, he planned a tour with Mick Fleetwood. And Children of God survivors called every single venue and told them who he was and got it shut down. But not to be disturbed, they planned another one for 2020. Yeah, so like Fleetwood Mac knows. And like the power of going all over the world and saying like, oh, this music CD is created by and has singing and guitar playing. He's a slide guitarist, which is a pretty rare skill, by one of the founding members of Fleetwood Mac. Like, people are going to be interested in that. People are going to buy that. So his name and title was used by the entire cult in the same way that like Scientology uses Tom Cruise, right? And then, but also, this is the only reason we know his name. And for most of us who grew up in the Children of God, we don't actually know the legal names of our abusers because they all used fake cult Bible names. And then the leadership started actually legally changing their names quite often and changing them to very like hard, like undistinguishable names. So instead of the current leader's name being Karen Zerby, her name is like Catherine Smith or something. So they changed it to really common names so that you can't find them. But yeah, so like I only focus on 2 abusers while I'm in the cult. Uncle Jerry, whose name we know, and then when I'm 14, there's another guy, and like, I don't know his last name. I don't know if I did and I just don't remember it, or if I never knew. Anyways, that is the story of Jeremy Spencer of Fleetwood Mac. And has Fleetwood Mac ever once tried to help any of the children? No.